All right, hello everybody. Cone here with Z-Car.
Hello.
On the way to PAX South, I had the opportunity to check out his Suzuki Cappuccino. It is a 91?
91, yes.
91, and it is definitely the smallest car experience I've ever had. And this is nothing more than me just kind of checking it out. I'm not a huge fan of driving other people's cars, so don't look for a full review, but it's an experience.
It is a lovely day near Houston.
This is exactly what I think about when I think of Texas. You know, a lack of foresight. They did not really give you anywhere to put your cell phone.
Well, you got like, and you have a whole little cubby back here, sort of.
Oh yeah, that is kind of cool. I like that.
For your purse.
That's a little personal, but okay.
Not your purse. The royal.
There is no door pockets.
No.
Is there a glove box? There is
Yes.
a glove box.
Yes. With all the JDM manuals and everything in there.
Nice. So JDM, bro.
Thanks.
It smells like every Japanese car I've ever sat in.
The only weird thing, well, one of the weird things driving it is, well, obviously no power steering, but you don't need it.
Yeah, AW11 I had with no power steering. That was it. No power steering, like that wasn't even an option thing?
No, it's a completely manual rack.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think any of the models came with power steering. But the car weighs 1,600 pounds.
It sounds like a motorcycle.
Yeah. The clutch kind of bites up top.
Sounds like every Japanese vehicle.
Yep. That was 7,000 RPM. Red line's 8,500.
You know, once you're in it, it doesn't feel as weird as I thought.
Yeah, it feels like a small car, and then you realize that you probably feel like you're in the center of the road right now.
Yeah.
And this is a random roundabout.
It's got that lowering springs on stock struts kind of feel to it.
Yep. Which one of these days I hope I fix. Oh yeah, this is a fine road for this.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's really not. Yeah, I was kind of expecting worse feeling conditions, but I'm also not a large American.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're about as big of a person that really fits comfortably in here.
It's crazy. It feels like it's like way revved down, and it's sitting at 1,000 RPM.
See, yeah, I thought that too, and then you realize it's 3-cylinder.
Yeah.
So imagine the pitch is just 75%. So like it sounds like a 4-cylinder at 750 RPM.
Right. Oh man, that's the smoothest railroad truck I've ever seen.
And it surprisingly has, like, for being, you know...
Hello, high country Silverado.
For having supposedly 60 horsepower or whatever, it pulls decent. That's another thing, is you realize how big every other car is.
I've just been noticing that in the Fiat. It's just like... But it's weird with the Fiat because you sit real high. This feels normal to me. Like, I'm used to cars that you're on the ground. But like, I'm thinking of like the Miras that are this size. That's gotta be so bizarre, sitting high and being tiny.
Yeah. I'm gonna get one of those. Well, maybe not a Mira, but like a...
One of the little 3-door hatch things.
The Suzuki's.
What is this strange structure?
I've never been here, but it actually is kind of like a nice road.
Yeah. I wish there was like no traffic on this road. That's a pretty cool like photo spot.
Yeah. And I guess we can just turn around and you can drive.
Yeah. We'll just like do this loop.
You want to like Chinese fire drill it? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot of running to do in that fire drill.
No. Oh yeah, and the other thing to be mindful of is the turn signals on the opposite side.
Oh yeah, I've already admitted to the fact that I'm going to screw that up, so I'm not even worried about it.
Just like most you're probably know.
It's so weird, like sitting in it, it feels normal.
And then you get out.
And you're like, where did it go? America. Floor mat. Could you? There you go.
And these are actually like pretty comfortable seats in my opinion.
Yeah, they're not bad. They got that 90s bolster thing that I like that nobody does anymore. Okay, so I've only ever driven one right-hand drive vehicle before.
Well, this is cheating because your brain tells you to drive on the right-hand side, but you don't have to worry about your left to right in lane because it's so small. Like if you put yourself where you normally are, you're still in the lane.
Real high. You said it was high. Yeah. It's real high.
I don't know if the clutch is just wearing out or...
That's just how it was.
Yeah.
I felt like fourth. There we go. The resistance.
Oh yeah, the shifter's a little weird, but as long as if you don't try to do any left right stuff, it's fine.
No, yeah, it honestly does feel like a Miata.
Yeah. It kind of has the little chassis wobble.
Yeah.
But not like...
I did it. I did it. What in the... Can we do this?
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like a very normal thing at all. Yes, I know. I'm doing weird things. There's the clutch. I'm shifting at like 4, and I feel like I'm super short shifting.
Yeah. No, it starts making power at like 4.
That's just where it feels natural too.
Yeah.
So have you done any performance driving with it at all, or just
no? I know it's lame. Like I just kind of like wanted to like just be there and pretty and drive.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. I'm just really curious, like. How, I mean, you drive it a lot, but how much it would screw with you at like autocross as far as like finding your marks and stuff.
Oh.
Being tiny and being on the wrong side.
I don't know, that's weird because like I don't really do autocross.
Right.
So it might not, it would probably screw me up for life. There's a guy in California who has a Cappuccino that actually does all sorts of track days and stuff. I think Matt Farah actually drove his car like a couple months ago. So there might be a one of those coming up soon. Now, tell me, does that feel like 64 horsepower?
I mean, it doesn't. But it also doesn't have like that big turbo 4-cylinder push either. Yeah. It just feels like a normal engine. It just feels like a naturally aspirated, which is typically the case with those tiny turbo cars.
Which this car supposedly has, well, at the time and up until like 2006, the smallest production turbo ever. Really? Yeah, the RBH 130 or like 131, 30, or just 131 or something like that.
It's so smooth. Like it's a little rough in lower RPMs because of the 3-cylinderness, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But once you get it above 5, it just smooths right out. How many bar things does it make?
I think 0.8. I don't know.
I have no idea what that is in real units.
The gauge is accurate though. Also, do you notice that you can hear the splashing of the rear tires right behind you?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty accustomed to that with cars with no insulation in them. But yeah, it's just the rears. It just sounds like it's right behind you.
Oh, it is right behind you.
Steering's pretty 90s.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's actually, I kind of like the way it steers.
The Fiat's too close for me. I don't like the Fiat steering. For like highway driving, it's very like all over the place.
Yeah, that's kind of how this feels once you get it up to like, like it's fine at 60.
Yeah. At
like 75, you feel kind of, it's like, this is a little too much for me.
Right.
It'll do it though.
Oh no, I don't know if we have room to park in front of these railroad tracks. That's funny. Probably get 6 of these up here. All right, Infinity, if you can't get next to this thing to get out of here, then you need a reality check.
Third gear, like...
It almost feels like it's at an angle. I don't know why.
I think part of that's left-hand shifting.
Maybe.
If you literally just push it straight, it'll go directly into third every time. But I've had problems getting used to it also.
That was the same problem I had. I mean, the Skyline was like half as much driving as I've done here. But I couldn't even get second in that one. It was just weird.
That was wheel spin.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of like the scale that made me worried of that. Like, I was worried of it getting tail happy, but yet it never really gave that feeling. I mean, obviously the whole point of these cars was not to be supercars. They were not meant to be...
No, it was...
fast even, really.
Yeah, because K-cars, they exist for basically tax reasons.
Yeah.
And, like, no one who has money or whatever, or like no one... You don't buy a K-car unless you actually want one or you need one.
Or you want something sporty, but this was the most you could get.
Yeah. I don't know how expensive these actually were.
Yeah, I would be curious to know, like, in 91 or whatever, what the price of this versus like an NA Miata was. That would be interesting to know.
But yeah, this is like, if you wanted a Miata, but you wanted to like have the fancy parking spaces, I think they had a special toll rules too, and plus taxes.
This would never exist in America, I can tell you that much.
No. I would like it to, for like tax reasons.
Yeah.
You know, your case parking spots or whatever. But no, that's never gonna happen.
No.
It's like they put salt on the road.
Yeah. We noticed that with the Fiat, it's just like covered in shoe.
And as we were talking about earlier, the little nozzle doesn't really work. And it's got the same affliction that 240s do, and the little reservoirs like rotted out.
Yep.
I did manage to get one though.
It's really cool when the coolant ones do it and rust out the whole side of the car.
Yeah. Full power!
Certainly got the slow car fast thing down pat.
Yeah, it makes all the right noises. It feels kind of like a normal car.
Yeah.
These guys are probably like, what the hell are they doing?
Our car's smaller than your golf cart.
Yeah. I was looking up go-karts and stuff that had bigger engines. And now it's raining.
Yep, yep.
But it doesn't leak. It survived a hurricane.
I do wish it was a nicer day. Unless this is like a pain in the ass to get.
It kind of is a pain in the ass.
I see a lot of clips.
No, okay, so it's actually really easy. It's pretty quick to take off. The problem is when you want to like store it in the trunk, because you got the 3 different pieces, 3 different bags,
right.
and you have to Tetris it in there just right. We can show you the trunk. It's like this big.
But it doesn't feel very convertible either. Like the top's not making a ton of noise, and it's not.
No, and it's because it's a hard top.
Yeah. Some of them like creak around and make all sorts of weird noise.
It does have some like wobbles, you can tell, but to me it feels almost exactly like my 240 convertible, just smaller. It drives really much the same way. The chassis feels pretty much the same. It's just smaller.
All right, well that was kind of my first experience of the car. It makes me want, I don't know if it makes me want a tiny car though, but it really, every emotion I'm getting from this is I really want another AW11.
Yeah, maybe a turbo one?
Maybe. It's just, the small car thing is just the feeling of everything. Like, there's no hiding the road, because there's so little car to hide the road from you. That's what I really like about it. The build quality is so typical, so typical like 90s Japan, that everything in here feels very familiar to me. But then as soon as I get out of it, I'm like, what did I just get out of? The space-wise, I mean, like, there's a little bit of fighting here, but that's otherwise pretty comfortable. Yeah. There's like the cool cavity back here for stuff, and
the top does come off and the back folds down, but it's raining right now, so we're not gonna do that.
Is there any other things that I'd really? Not really. It's
a car.
Yeah, it's just a car.
A car.
Yeah. For what seems like it should be such a novelty, it's really just a smaller version of a car.
Oh yeah, you do have to come. Feel the hood. How much it?
That's there's not much to that.
I think it's aluminum hood.
Yeah, it kind of has that tinny sound to it.
Getting complicated, but look, I can still reach the ground.
There you go. There you go.
Looks like it'd be like a KA or something, but it's like.
Yeah, it kind of has. Actually, it looks like a CA. Like it has that like look to it.
Yeah.
But then like, it's very original. Like original airbox.
Yeah. I actually
inlet.
bought a new one of these because that's kind of.
Oh yeah. Is it a map car or a map car?
It's a map.
That's nice.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Intercooler, which is like insane. Throttle body is insane. Like, I don't even know why I'm bothering with this stuff because I've seen this. I've seen pictures, and it doesn't look that crazy.
Yeah, in person though, and you realize that's my thumb.
Right. Oh my God! It's the sun.
There's your beauty shots.
Yeah. Well, there you go, a little look at a little car. Big thanks to Z-Car for bringing it out. It's basically everything I already loved about 90s Japanese sports cars, just in a smaller package. Very, very cool, and I'm glad to be able to say I can check that off the list. I have driven a K or key car, whatever you want to call them, and now we're off to find more ridiculous Japanese cars to drive.